human beings, we may wonder why we look more like one parent than the other. Why do I have blonde hair if both of my parents have brown? Or why are my eyes blue if mom's are blue and dad's are brown? In this lesson, we are going to take a look at Mendelian genetics in order to help us answer this question. First, we must take a look at the man we know as the father of genetics, Gregor Mendel. Mendel was an Austrian monk who experimented with pea plants in his monastery garden by creating hybrids, or a plant that is the offspring of two different parents. He studied 7 traits in these pea plants: seed shape, seed color, seed coat color, pod shape, pod color, flower position, and plant height. Mendel came up with 2 main conclusions in his experiments. The first is that inheritance is determined by biological factors that are passed down from one generation to the next. We call these factors genes today. He also discovered that there are multiple forms of a gene which we refer to as alleles. His second conclusion was that some traits appeared more frequently than others. He referred to this discovery as the principle of dominance. Think of genes and alleles this way in relationship to hair color. Our gene would be hair color. It's the factor that is passed down from parent to offspring. We all have different colors of hair: red, brown, black, blonde, etc. The different hair colors would be our alleles. So how do we know which hair color we are likely to have? In genetics, we use a tool called a Punnett square. It is used to predict the outcome of a genetic cross. But before we can use the Punnett square, we first have to know how to set it up. In order to set it up, we have to know our alleles from our parents. If dad's alleles are capital B, he is said to be homozygous because both of his alleles are the same. If mom's alleles are capital B lowercase b, she is said to be heterozygous because her alleles are different. These letters are our genotype or genetic makeup. They are represented by our phenotype or our physical characteristic. In this case, our phenotype would be a specific hair color. In the case of hair color, brown hair is dominant to blonde hair, which means in a genetic cross, the offspring has a higher chance of having brown hair. When we do a Punnett square, the capital letter represents the dominant allele, in this case, the brown hair. A lowercase letter represents the recessive allele, which in this case is blonde hair. Anytime the dominant allele is present in the offspring, that is the trait they will express. Let's take dad's genotype, capital B, and put it at the top of the square. Because he is homozygous dominant for his hair color, we know his hair is brown. We will then take mom's genotype, capital B lowercase b, and put it to the left side of the square. Mom is heterozygous dominant. This means that she has brown hair, but she carries the allele for blonde hair. Depending on the cross, it's possible her child could have blonde hair even though she has brown. To get the possible outcomes of your genetic cross, you bring the capital B from dad down to the first box, and the capital B from mom over. You follow this pattern until all the boxes have a genotype containing one allele from mom and one from dad. Always write the capital letter first. This Punnett square would predict the outcome of possible offspring from this couple. We have a genotypic ratio of 2 capital B to 2 capital B lowercase b. Our phenotypic ratio would be 4 brown-haired offspring to 0 blonde-haired offspring. Because the dominant allele is present in all the possible offspring, all offspring of this couple would have brown hair.